guys, welcome back to my kitchen table. Today I have a 3-ingredient homemade clay. Everyone loves clay. This is a simple, easy recipe that anyone can make. I made a hamburger with it, even this cute little funky pot that I'll show you how to make today. Okay, are we ready to get messy? Let's go. Okay guys, let's make some clay. So this is a 3-ingredient clay. Really simple, really fun to make. This hamburger is actually made from this clay. The same clay that we're going to be making today. It's been dried and painted. It dried for a couple of days because it's pretty thick. And then just painted with normal acrylic paint. So let's get started. Materials we will need are a large mixing bowl, flour, salt, a cup of warm water, and then a 1 cup measuring cup, and then a 1/4 cup measuring cup. So we will need 2 scoops, 2 cups of flour. That up. Doesn't have to be perfectly exact. 1 cup. And 2 cups. There we go. And with that, now we need 3/4 cup of salt. So that would be 3 of our 1/4 cup measure cups. Two, 3. Now, because there is so much salt in this clay, if you have any cuts on your fingers or any open wounds or something, this will hurt. So get a band-aid, cover it up, wear gloves, whatever you need to do. Then we will also need 3/4 cup of our warm water. So 3 more scoops of our water. 1, 2, and 3. Now we have a little bit of water left over. We will use that later if necessary. Okay, so let's go ahead and move all that stuff out of the way. Now the fun, messy part, mixing it all together. So you can use a spoon for this or a spatula. I'm just gonna go ahead and use my hand. I'm gonna get my hands dirty when I play with the clay anyways, so we'll just get messy started out. Okay. Just mix it all together. Make sure you get stuff off the bottom, and pretty quickly you'll see it start to sort of clump up. Not just on your hands, but as a dough sort of thing. So mix it together, twist it around. After you've mixed it so much and it still sort of seems dry and crumbly, if you need to, add some more water. Little by little, don't add a whole lot. But mine still seems quite crumbly and stiff. I'm gonna get my water there, pour a little bit more in. Once I get all this off my hand. Oh my goodness. There it goes. Okay. Ooh, making a mess. So just a little, I'm gonna pour it sort of on the outskirts of my ball there, just to get some of that dried stuff incorporated. There we go. It's getting there. Okay, so I've got just a sort of little faux marble mat here that I'm going to go ahead and just dump my clay out on and sort of knead it outside of the bowl. Got my bowl over there. Just keep going. Until it is all incorporated together, and that may take some time, especially with this dough. If it gets too sticky because you maybe added a little too much water, add a little more flour. Just be careful you don't go back and forth adding too much flour, then adding more water, then adding more flour. going. It's going to be a little sticky to work with no matter what. That's just the nature of clay. We don't want it completely non-sticky, because then it won't stick to itself when you're trying to put pieces together. We're going to scoop some stuff up. Take it off your hands every now and then. Ooh. Take up all that stuff. Okay, my dough is really starting to come together. Just need to knead it another couple minutes. Then I think it'll be ready to work with. Okay, there we go. I think my clay is pretty well together. A big ball of flour, salt, and water. One thing that is completely optional is if you do not want to have to paint your project at the end, if you don't have any paint available, you don't have to go buy some, but you have food dye, what you can do is just sort of section off a little bit of your clay, make a little ball, then make a little hole in the ball, okay? Then take your food dye, put a couple drips in there. I would say the more you put in there, the darker the color will be. And then sort of work it around. Now, depending on the color you're using, you may want to use gloves. That way it does not stain your hands. Especially those darker colors, or like red. You can tell the red is very much going to stain my hands. That's okay, I don't mind. Work it around, mix it, roll it. Just keep going until the color is all mixed in. It may take a while. One important thing to know about this clay is it will dry out your hands pretty quick, especially with all the salt in it, and it will also dry out itself pretty quick. So while you're mixing your colors together, what you might want to do is just with a little bit of water left in your cup, just sort of sprinkle it with some water, just so it doesn't get dried out and unusable while you're mixing your colors together. So after I washed my hands with that red dye, I left my hands wet, just so I could sort of also keep my dough wet as I'm working with it. Don't want it to get dried out too much. So now that we have this dough, we can do anything we want with it. We can create an animal, we can create a flower, we can make a hamburger, hot dog. One thing that is a very common clay technique is coils. Oop. Your board's a little slippery, it's gonna slip around. So that is just basically, oop, squish this back together, try again. It's just like making a snake when you're little in preschool playing with Play-Doh. Making a snake with your hands, rolling it out on the table. Except when you work with this clay, you don't want it to be lumpy bumpy, especially when you're trying to do a coil project. So start your hands in the middle, then as you roll, pull your hands out to the edge, gently and smoothly, and eventually you'll start to get an even snake or coil. Now right here it's going to break a little bit, that's okay. I'm not going to worry about that piece. You can just take a little water, try to fix that edge there. Okay, I'm going to keep going very gently. I'm pushing on the clay. Okay. A little dry spot in there. As I'm rolling it out, to make sure it's nice and even and straight. Okay, now what this we can do is make a coil pot. To make the bottom of our coil pot, we're just going to roll this up nice and flat. Can we have something that looks like that so we can see our coils of our snake? Put it to the side. This other coil over here. I may make the bottom of my coil pot a little bigger, just so it makes it a decent sized little pot here at the end. Okay, now to combine two pieces together, you're gonna take a little bit of water, stick it on both ends, sort of smush it together. There we go. Okay, so I think that's gonna be the bottom of my coil pot. I'm just gonna smooth those two spots I joined together, and then the end of my pot in right there. So there's the base for my coil pot, pretty simple. So now the rest of it, we're just gonna make some more coils. So grab another clump of clay, start making your shape. And if your board gets a little sticky from any water you've added, take a little bit of flour, sort of lightly dust it, kind of like you were kneading some dough, and go from there. Okay. So you always want to keep your coils about the same thickness for the whole project. So if you have part of your project really thin, it's going to dry a lot quicker than the parts that are thick, and that might lead it to breaking or cracking. You definitely don't want that. Okay, so there's a good starting coil. So with my base, a little bit of water on top of this outside coil. I'm gonna stick this one down on top. And then once I come to where it started, a little bit of water on top of that. And I keep going. I can sort of pull it out to make it a little more circular. There, then keep going. Just keep making coils and adding them on there like that until you get the clay coil pot as high as you like. Okay, I think that's about as tall as I'm gonna get it. Now if you make it too big, it will start to just sort of sink under the weight of itself. So we don't want to make it too tall, or you may have to make it in sections and glue them together later. Now very carefully, you'll want to sort of pick it up and put it in a safe place to dry, okay? Out of sight. Out of little hands that might mess with it. Find a safe place that it can dry, probably for a couple of days, depending on how thick. And my coil pot, because it's hollow on the inside, it may only take a day, maybe two, to dry. Depends on the weather. Right now it's sort of rainy outside, so it may take a little longer with all the moisture in the air. If it's a dry, warm day, it may not take as long, so we'll just see. So I will put it away somewhere up and high, that it won't get messed with. When it's all dry, then I can come back and paint it just with plain acrylic paint, like I did my hamburger. And when it's all dry, it'll sort of sound like this. It's pretty thick and heavy, but if you drop it, it will break. So be very careful and enjoy what you do with your clay. Have fun with it. Any extra clay that you have, or any clay you want to save for another day, you can save it in a Ziploc bag. What I would do is I would get a paper towel and make it a little bit damp, not too damp, just a little damp, and wrap the clay up in the paper towel. Then put that all in a Ziploc bag and squeeze out as much air as possible, so it's a nice, tight, airlock seal. And that'll keep your clay moist and pliable for another day. Same thing with your colored clay. Okay? I hope you guys create some wonderful little sculptures and pictures with your clay. Have fun with it, and I'll see you later. Bye.